Women's football has icons, but only a few turned greatness into serious money. Here are the 10 richest female footballers by public estimate, with their current status. At number 10, Sydney Leroux comes in at around $3 million. She is still active, and right now she is with Angel City after signing through 2027. Leroux is not here because of one giant payday. She is here because she stayed relevant for more than a decade, from the early NWSL years to the current era, and that kind of longevity usually adds up. Her 2012 Olympic gold with the U.S. gave her early star power, and in the NWSL, she kept adding milestones, even pushing into the league's all-time top 10 scorers before that new LA deal. With all due respect to other long career names, Leroux edges in because both the football resume and the name value lasted. A solid way to open the list. At number 9, Hope Solo lands around $3 million, and even as a retired player, her name still carries weight. She has not played professionally since 2016, but for years she was the face of elite goalkeeping in the women's game. That matters here because goalkeepers rarely build the same commercial pull as star forwards, and Solo still managed it. The record that jumps out is simple: 202 caps for the U.S., 2 Olympic gold medals, a World Cup, and Golden Gloves at the 2011 and 2015 World Cups. Compared with most keepers, her fame was on another level, and that is what keeps her in this top 10. She is retired, but the profile never really disappeared. At number 8, Alex Morgan checks in at roughly $3 to $4 million, and unlike the active stars above her, she is already done. Morgan retired from professional football in September 2024 after finishing with San Diego Wave. Even so, she remains one of the most recognizable names the women's game has ever produced, which is why a lower estimate still feels big. Her peak years were massive: Olympic gold, 2 World Cups, 123 international goals, and the 2019 World Cup silver boot. She probably feels underpriced compared with some names above her, but this list is about public estimates, not pure fame. On status, there is no doubt. Morgan is retired and already a modern icon. At number 7, Abby Wambach comes in at about $4 million. She retired back in 2015, but no list like this feels serious without her. Wambach was one of the first true power brands in women's football in the U.S., and long before the sport hit today's commercial level, she was already a headline name. That older generation advantage still counts. And then there is the big one: 184 international goals, plus the 2015 World Cup title before walking away. That insane late equalizer against Brazil in 2011 is still one of the most replayed moments in women's football. Alex Morgan later became the cleaner commercial face, but Wambach's record book gave her lasting value. She fully deserves this spot. At number 6, Christine Sinclair sits around $5 million. She is no longer playing, having retired from club competition with Portland at the end of 2024 after already ending her international career in 2023. Even retired, Sinclair carries a different kind of respect on this list. She was never the loudest celebrity, but her longevity and stature are almost unmatched. The number everyone knows is 190 international goals, still the world record. Portland later retired her iconic number 12, and that tells you how huge her standing is on both sides of the border. Compared with some more commercial names, Sinclair built value through pure consistency and legacy. Retired now, yes, but still one of the game's biggest ever. At number 5, Alexia Putellas is around $5 million, and she is still active with Barcelona right now after extending through 2026. Even after the ACL setback, she stayed central to the biggest machine in women's club football. That matters because Barcelona visibility, Champions League runs, and personal awards create a level of star power very few players can touch. 2 Ballons d'Or changed everything for her profile. They turned Alexia from elite midfielder into a global face of the sport. And since then, every comeback, goal, and trophy run has carried extra weight. Aitana may be the hotter name now, but Alexia's branding head start is real. That is why she edges into the top 5. At number 4, Aitana Bonmatí also comes in around $5 million, but her rise feels even sharper. She is still with Barcelona and signed through 2028, which tells you everything about her place in the club's future. Right now, she is the full package: elite midfielder, Ballon d'Or winner, Champions League star, and one of the smartest commercial bets in women's football. Aitana's last few seasons pushed her into another bracket. She won the 2024-25 Women's Champions League Player of the Season award, then added a third straight Ballon d'Or in 2025. Compared with Alexia, she has the fresher peak and maybe the bigger upside from here. On public estimates, they are close, but Aitana feels like she is still climbing fast. At number 3, Sam Kerr lands around $5 million, and she is still a Chelsea player now, with a contract running through summer 2026. Injuries slowed her down, but her status did not collapse. That says a lot. Kerr has been a superstar in Australia, the NWSL, and the WSL, and that cross-market pull is a huge reason she ranks above several equally decorated players. One detail sums it up. After the ACL nightmare, she returned for Chelsea in 2025 and hit her 100th goal for the club. That kind of milestone keeps the brand strong even when the minutes drop. Aitana and Alexia may sit at the center of Barca's trophy machine, but Kerr's global reach is different. She is still active, still famous, and still enormous commercially. At number 2, Megan Rapinoe is still publicly estimated around $5 million, even though she retired at the end of the 2023 season. That is a huge clue to her commercial power. Rapinoe was not just a star winger. She became one of the most recognizable athletes in the entire sport. And that kind of visibility keeps your name valuable long after the last game. The football resume was already elite. World Cup winner twice, Olympic gold medalist, Ballon d'Or Femení, and a full career with Seattle Reign in the NWSL era. Add the endorsements and global profile, and she becomes much bigger than a normal retired player. Sam Kerr is still active, but Rapinoe's overall brand reached another level. That is why she is second. At number 1, Marta tops the list by some distance, with public estimates often putting her around $10 to $13 million. That figure is one of the least certain here, but her place at number 1 makes sense. She is still active with Orlando Pride, signed through the 2026 season, and even at 40, she remains one of the most powerful names women's football has ever created. The resume is ridiculous. 6 FIFA World Player Awards, Brazil's biggest icon, and the all-time World Cup scoring record across men's and women's football. Add the 2024 NWSL Shield and Championship with Orlando, and her story is still moving, not just living off the past. No one on this list blends longevity, greatness, and name value like Marta. She is the clear number 1. So that is the list. Retired legends, active superstars, and one all-time giant still leading the pack. Marta stays on top. Who should be higher? And who is missing from this ranking? Drop your top 10 below. Then like the video and subscribe for more football lists.